For the first time, more than half of people using e-cigarettes have given up smoking tobacco. That's according to a study by Action on Smoking Health, which found that around 2.9 million vapers, 1.5 million were ex-smokers. It comes just weeks before a change in the law on e-cigs, which will restrict their nicotine strength and remove ingredients, including caffeine. Geoff Cliff was a tobacco smoker for 50 years and gave up when he turned to vaping. Hello, Geoff.
Hello.
What was it about vaping then that finally got you over the hurdle?
Basically the fact that it was something that I could do where I wouldn't be able to smoke. It was a lot cheaper than tobacco, than cigarettes. I tried one as a proof of concept, basically, and found that it worked for me perfectly well.
Yeah. And so, what does it give you, Geoff? I mean, amongst other things, presumably the social aspect, you can still go outside and have a vape with your old smoking mates, but what about the sensations?
The sensation is very much the same, or very similar to that I got from smoking cigarettes. It's a kind of satisfaction, and yet it's just something I can enjoy in the same way that I enjoyed smoking.
It is interesting, isn't it? Because there have been many debates. Many doctors firmly believe that it's far healthier to have an e-cigarette than a cigarette because of all the tar, etc. But also there are some now restrictions on e-cigging. You can't do it in many public buildings. And now, as I mentioned there, they're going to talk about restricting their nicotine strength. What do you make of all that?
Well, I think, to be quite honest, it's crazy. It's taking away the choice of people to do what people like to do, in the same way that was done with smoking. They're now applying smoking methodology to something which is not smoking.
Yeah. Do you think some ex-smokers might go back if the nicotine goes down?
I think there is a danger of that, although I don't necessarily vape for the nicotine, and in fact I've reduced my nicotine levels quite considerably. It's those people who are making the switch that probably need the higher nicotine strengths. Yeah. And if those are taken away, they simply won't switch. Well,
there are those, of course, who say, well, look, vaping, the ingredients of a vape, of an e-cigarette, are not fully known, what effect they can have on the body, and long-term there could be health issues as well. Is that something that concerns you?
It doesn't concern me. I think that the risks of smoking have been overblown. The risks of vaping are considerably overblown. If you look at the constituents of e-juice, polypropylene glycol being the major one, it's used in all sorts of medications, and there is no known health risk. Nicotine itself is declared as being as addictive as heroin, but in fact it is not that addictive. It's probably about as addictive as a cup of coffee.
Well, millions of smokers might differ on that one, Geoff. But just a final word. What about the vaping itself? Are you eventually going to give that up?
I don't see any reason to do so. If it's 95% less harmful than smoking, which is what we've been told, smoking didn't really do me any great harm over 50 years. So I don't think that vaping is going to do me an awful lot of harm over the years that I have left.
OK. Good to talk to you, Geoff.
Thank you.
Geoff Cliff there, who uses, I don't know what the verb is, he vapes. Does he vape, or he has an e-cigarette? Anyway, to get him over the nicotine habit. Let us know your thoughts, 85058. Does it work for you, or did it not work for you?